Hey, hello everyone. So welcome to my trigonometric substitution video series. Trigonometric substitution is a tricky lesson, right? Students often find that this lesson to be a hard one, but I'm gonna break it down for you. Before we move on to trigonometric substitution and all those integration stuff, let's first prepare for the lesson. How do I prepare? Now I want to teach you how to simplify certain terms. That means terms involving square roots. Let's see one for example, because simplifying this type of a square root is a one key step in trigonometric substitution, and I have seen lots of students doing lots of mistake in this key step. So let's learn this correctly and slowly. Alright, so what I'm gonna do actually here is I wanna substitute x is equal to 2 sine theta. So in the place of x here inside the square root, I wanna substitute this x is equal to 2 sine theta. So the end of the day, what I wanna do is I wanna get rid of this square root. I wanna simplify this term as much as possible and get a very simple function out of it. So let's see how to do it. Well, it's pretty simple, okay? Alright, so substituting x in the place of so in x square you want to substitute x to be 2 sine theta, right? So the first mistake that you can do is be careful. X square means 2 square sine square, right? So this is 2 square is 4 sine square theta. Sometimes you might forget sine square and you might write 4 sine theta. That's wrong. So make sure to square each term here. Alright, now here's one more thing. Now when you simplify this type of term, the whole idea is to actually get rid of the square root, right? But don't be in a hurry to get rid of the square root, okay? Get rid of the square root at the very end step. What do I mean? As long as you have subtraction or addition inside the square root, you cannot get rid of the square root. What do I mean here? So think about this. Square root of 9 plus 4, is this equal to square root of 9 plus square root of 4? Can you distribute square root like that? No, you can't. This is wrong, okay? So same for subtraction. If you have subtraction here, you still can't do it. So we need to get rid of this subtraction and addition, whatever you have inside the square root. Okay, so don't be in a hurry to get rid of the square root. Let's see what we can do. Well, if you look carefully, we have a common number 4. So let's factor 4 within the square root. So if I take 4 out, 1 minus sine square theta. So this is what I get, right? So I just pull out 4 inside the square root. Do not even touch square root, okay? Do that at the very end. All right. Now what I'm going to do is, what is 1 minus sine square theta? Well, using Pythagorean identity, it's actually cosine square theta, right? So if you don't know this, you better go back and watch my previous video series about trigonometric integration, okay, and trigonometric identities. So 1 minus sine square is cosine square theta. So let's replace it here. So 4 cosine square theta. Now if you look carefully of what we have here, we do not have subtraction or addition, okay? Now the question is 9 times 4, square root of 9 times 4, is that equal to square root of 9 times square root of 4? Can you distribute the square root when you have multiplication? Absolutely yes, you can, okay? 9 times 4 is 36, square root of 36 is 6 here, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 4 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, right? It's correct. Alright, so we can do that. Now you can distribute the square root. You can write here square root of 4 is 2, square root of cosine square theta is cosine theta. Alright, so this is what we get. So we started here. We had a term that contains square roots. Now we simplified it through a substitution and got this. Okay? So the key thing here is how we handle the square root. We touch the square root at the very end step, at the very last step. Okay, so until the last step, get rid of the subtraction or addition, whatever you have, the whatever operation you have here. Okay, usually what you have to do is you might need to factor a number inside the square root, and you might need to use Pythagorean identity. Okay, so let's quickly see some more examples. How about x square minus 16 square root of the whole thing, x is equal to 4 secant theta. So let's quickly do this. X square is then 4 square secant square theta. So it's 16 secant square theta, right? Now clearly again you can see there's a common number. Okay, 99% of time you will have a common number. Okay, if you don't, then be careful and check back your square root, check back the way you substitute the answer. Okay, all right, now let's pull out 16 secant square theta minus 1. Oh, by the way, I don't know whether this is late to mention or not. It's just I have given this to you already. Okay, don't worry about how I got this substitution here. It's just I have given you the substitution and given you the term. It's just we learn how to simplify the square root. Okay, probably maybe it's too late to mention that, but anyway, okay, let's continue. So we factor out 16. Now what is secant square theta minus 1? Well, it is tangent square theta. Again, another version of Pythagorean identity. Tangent square theta is equal to secant square theta minus 1. So we can replace that by Pythagorean identity, what we got from Pythagorean identity. Now see, you can distribute the square root. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of tangent square theta is tangent theta. Here we go. This is what we get after simplifying this square root term. Okay, so let's do another example. Okay, just quickly, x square plus 4, and the substitute is given as x is equal to 2 tangent theta. Let's see what happens. So let's substitute. So x square is 2 square tangent square theta, so it's 4 tangent square theta. Again, as you can see, there's a common number. Take out the common number within the square root. Okay, now what is tangent square theta plus 1? It is secant square theta. Okay, again Pythagorean identity, secant square theta. If you have forgotten Pythagorean identity, you must review them. Okay, all right, one more mistake that can happen is you might write here secant theta. No, it's secant square theta. Missing that square will cost you a lot. Okay, now see, we can take the square root very easily. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of secant square theta is secant theta. So there we go. From here, we came here. Okay. Oh, well, we had a much complicated square root term here. Okay. So from here, we got to here. So that is how you simplify a term involving a square root. So hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.